we're gonna open our class today. So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, everyone in the class and also in the home. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Morning. I'm good.
I'm good. Okay, is right.
I'm
All of you are
good.
gonna be good, and also we are so happy today because now we are from a meeting. Kind of we're gonna discuss about our class today and continue our previous conversation before. Okay. Thank you. So before we gonna start our class, I just gonna share our previous lecture. Let me share the. Okay, before we talk about the quantitative research, how about we design that one? And now we're gonna more extend our class. Oh, wait a minute. Check. We already talked about this last week. How about the research design? What kind of the research design? Step of the research and general definition. What kind of we know the hypothesis. And then after that experiment, what kind of the experiment, analysis, conclusion, variable, and the difference of the variable between variable and also the parameter. And last week we learned about what kind of the independent variable and dependent variable, and why we need to understand the research design, and the difference between qualitative and quantitative, and some of the more definition about the qualitative and quantitative research, and the type of the quantitative design for the animal research. It's commonly divided by the 3 types: descriptive research, correlation research, and also the experimental research. And we already talked that one in previous our class. So I just gonna jump in this week's class. We're gonna talk about the methodology of quantitative research. So what kind of the methodology of the quantitative research? We can see in here the type of the quantitative design, the population and the sample, research instrument, data collection, and the last is the analysis data. So everyone in home can follow my lecture. Okay, maybe I can sit like this way, so some of the people at home can understand what we discuss in here by make some pointer in here, and also all of you can see using our screen. So Peden, the type of the research design is so much important for us, because before you start your experiment, you have to understand why you choose this design. And after you choose this design, like I choose the quantitative design. After that, you have to understand why you choose like the descriptive, correlative, and experimental design. It's all of depend on your purpose and also all your like the ability, your source. You have to understand that one. The reason is so important because it's gonna be sustained for your study. For the example, you choose like experimental design, but you don't have enough source, like the replication or maybe the laboratory analysis and the other. You have to think about that one before you choose like the experimental design. Or maybe you want to choose the descriptive, like a descriptive, what kind of you're gonna research. And the next is this type. This step is very critical step before you move in the conducting the research, because if you wrong to understanding what the differences between quantitative research and qualitative research, and the differences between descriptive, correlative, and experimental design, it's going to be a problem for your future research. Okay, please.
Thank you. We have been shown that animal clearance at this point is the example cannot deliver. We can complain that animal welfare is a critical highlight, right? And my question is, does it apply to only livestock or all kind of animal? At this point, the example is our research that using larva, black soldier fly larva. We extract them to the oil, flour in the dry matter. So it is proposed that we use them and we must apply them to the ethical committee or the other livestock like a poultry, rabbit, sheep, or goat. This is it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. So everyone in the home can hear what's the question?
Clearly.
Okay, so this is very interesting question, and the answer is it all of the animal should be considered in the animal welfare? I think in my opinion, the main thing is not except the insect, especially if that insect is so much rare, which is it's kind of the protected from the world. But if the just general insect and that used for the consumption, I think there is no problem. The animal welfare in here consideration like the big animals like the ruminants, sheep, goats, and also like the rat, mice, the small animal like the rat, mice. And I think there is no problem for like the insect and also the since the insect is not like a rare animal. That's I think that's answer the question, right? So the next from the home, is there any question?
Yes, sir, I have one.
Yes, please. Who asked this one?
Okay, my name is Philemon Lanata.
Okay, Mr. Philemon, please.
Okay, thank you for this question. I want to asking about sampling. How many of sample that effective to represent a population in experimental study? Is it have a standard of presentation or it is depend on our capability? Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Philemon, for the very difficult question. It's so much difficult actually. So how many the population, the percentage of the population that represent our study? The answer is follow your reference. So every fields have the different way to sampling. For the example, in the nutrition, when I work in the silage, when you produce maybe 5 kilograms for 5 kilogram silage, maybe you can sampling around 200 grams until 300 grams. That's enough. Maybe if you make 500 kilograms, maybe you can sampling around the 5 kilograms. So it's not always exactly same the percentage, but you can refer your reference for I mean in here is journal, manuscript, publication, a lot of the publication, and I recommended if you choose the high journal quality, it's going to be good to understanding how much the percentage we have to sampling. It's going to be different for each field. For the example, like the maybe genetic quantitative people, it's going to be need more sampling than we study as the usual for this one. So Mr. Philemon, I think read more manuscript. It's the best way to understanding the percentage of the population, the minimum percentage of the population for our study.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. So We're gonna talk about the. Is there any more question?